Hey Pisces, moon, what's good? Like, we finally here. We made it. You know what I'm saying? How long have you been waiting? You've been waiting a long time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm basically going to give you guys a little rundown of what is Pisces, what is the moon, and then we're going to start talking about some of the traits that Pisces moon people actually exhibit. Towards the end, I have a couple of little funny tips that I have for you guys to kind of lead us out of the video and back into reality. So let's go ahead and get started, because I love a good Pisces moon. Two of my best friends actually have Pisces moons, so I'm able to see this moon work like up close and personal, and so I hope that you guys are able to learn something from this. Before we start, I just want to say, if you guys know of anybody with the Pisces moon, or you're interested in finding out about the people closest to you and their signs, please share these videos with them. I'm all about teaching people about their personal astrology in order to allow them to just get more in tune and more aligned with themselves. So I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. So Pisces, when I think about the Pisces and the Pisces moon, I think about our imagination, the fantasy realm, our connection to spirit, our connection to the unseen, symbolism, ancient, texts and stuff like that. I think about just the essence of the feeling, the ability that we have to feel things that can't always be explained by words or by sight or any of our other senses. It's just that knowing, right? I put essence and then I put source, right? So because Pisces energy is all about that connection to source. It's the last sign in the zodiac, and so it takes us from idealization and personification, which is Aries, and it takes us all the way through the wheel back to, it's like death, but it's past death. It's transcendence. It's going back to source energy. So it's beautiful. I really, really love Pisces energy just because I have my Venus in Pisces. So even the way that I'm kind of talking about this, you guys can probably feel my passion for it. I really connect with that Pisces spirit. But I have to say, Pisces is a little bit of a tougher sign to deal with because I have a lot of Capricorn too, so I'm always trying to get real with stuff. Pisces is just not on that. Pisces is just up here somewhere, okay? So let's talk about the moon here. The moon is about their feelings. The Pisces moon person is very in touch with their feelings, their intuition, their moods, right? They are the type that doesn't need to plan things per se. They just kind of go with the flow. They're perfectly fine in that realm. That's where they're comfortable. It's about their reactions to things, which a lot of times, Pisces reactions to things is a subconscious thing that they don't always act on, but they do allow it to change them and to inform how they act and react towards things. And then reservations is what I put, because Pisces sometimes doesn't know how to react to certain things, or doesn't understand how to respond, because they're not here with us. They're like, what? You did what? I'm about to go take a nap, because I don't even have the energy to think about this and deal with this anymore. So it's sometimes just not wanting to deal with things, being a little bit more reserved, a little bit aloof, but it's not really aloofness. It's just this sort of feeling of, I don't know if y'all can relate to this. Pisces moon people, please leave a comment below if y'all know what I'm talking about. There's this space that I feel like I've witnessed you guys go into, which is just really, really neither here nor there type of energy. Let's get into it, because I got some notes written out. Before I get into the notes, I just want to say, I just appreciate y'all's support. Pisces always support me on my videos, and I see you guys. I just want you to know that I love you back. And if you want to connect more with me, I have started a Facebook blog. It's called, you can go to facebook.com/The High Vibe Collective. Over there, I basically want that to serve as a network for us, so we can drop resources, information. When I do these videos, I always do a write-up first, so that I can sort of keep myself on track and do an outline. So as I'm talking to you, I'm not reading from the page, so every word is not being spoken. If you guys want to be able to read through my notes and get maybe a little bit more information, this will be posted there. So that's what I want to say. But let's go ahead and get into it, so that we can talk more about this in-between space that I'm trying to describe to you. And look it. I'm in the in-between space now. The camera can't even find me. I'm in the in-between. All right, here we go. We back. All right, so Pisces is mutable water. Beautiful energy. I love it so much. What is mutable? Mutable means they're able to adapt. They're able to change and shape shift, okay, their energy in order to become whatever the moment requires of them, in order to get them from point A to where they desire to be, which is point B, okay? Pisces is also a water sign. Water signs are all about being in touch with the the frequency, but it's about the emotional frequency, okay? Not necessarily like messages being communicated, but emotional messages being communicated. It's about tapping into the feeling, okay? This is where I'm getting back to those buzzwords, tapping into the source, the things that we know without having to question them within our spirit, the things that as a human society, you know, as a human being, the knowing that you have, right? Being born into this experience and knowing that you are a soul having a human experience. Pisces is very aware. Sometimes they leave this fucking body because they're like, what the fuck? You want me to be here all day doing nothing? What's the point? I'm gonna go and imagine myself somewhere else, go work out some other things in this other realm. I'll be back to you guys when it's necessary for me to come back. Like this video or leave a comment down below if you know a Pisces moon that does that, okay? So let me just read my notes. I said the water is free to flow in whichever direction it chooses. That's where you get people talking about both of the fish being Pisces. One swims upstream, one downstream, and how they think Pisces can be a little bit of delusionalist or like a liar or something like that, because they can literally flip a story to go whatever way suits them and suits their need. Now that is true, but what I will say is that they're mostly having this experience that is just like unanchored by boundary. That is the signifying trait of a Pisces anything, but we're talking about the moon here, so we're talking about the feelings and emotions. They do not like to be pushed into certain feelings or certain emotions. However, they can pick up other people's feelings and emotions without realizing that they're doing it. And the way that they maintain control, okay, is through narrating the story in a way that gives them control, or omitting certain facts in a way that gives them control. They are able to transcend through realms of realities to the point where this is why people think that they're great liars, because they can literally take a fake ass story and tell it to you in a way that feels so real that you don't know the lies from the truth in the goddamn story. At the end of the day, you're just like, you know what, you try, you can have it, you put all that effort into it, you got it, you know what I'm saying? That's just one element though of the Pisces moon. That is not all Pisces moon. That is that the lower vibration of that sign is where they tend to want to blur lines to their benefit. The higher exaltation of this sign is a very spiritually in tuned human being who understands that they are able to utilize the frequencies that are already, the frequencies, I'm stupid. No, but the frequencies that are already around and are available to us, they more so tap into those frequencies in order to pick up whatever information that they need. So it might be they're having a conversation with their partner, and without their partner having to say everything, they just kind of feel the energy. They already know, okay, this person's having this type of day, let me go ahead and do whatever else. And it's almost a manipulative trait, but it's not. It doesn't have to be used for bad is what I'm trying to tell you. But they are super psychic. They pick up on things unsaid all the time, and it just depends on the person, how this moon is being aspected, right? So what other planets they have that are making relation to the moon is how it's gonna that's gonna determine how this moon shows up. But what I can say is that with all of them, they do have that sort of in between, that ability to rest between the lines. There's an undefined quality about them and the things they say and they do, to the point where you're like, is this person lying to me? I don't know. I feel bad for even thinking that they are, but okay, let me just drop it. Almost like you don't want to bust a Pisces moon's bubble unless you're in a relationship with them and they're like pathologically lying to you. Then it can get a little annoying. But let me see. One thing I also noticed with them, whether it's, oh, my camera's about to die, but whether it's a person with a lower vibration or a higher vibration Pisces moon, they need to get in touch with their bodies. They tend to neglect their bodies to be in that escaped place. A lot of them indulge in weed, drugs, alcohol, shit like that in order to just take their mind off of the real world, and how they just feel like sometimes the real world can pose a lot of boundaries for them that are unnecessary as fuck, and they don't understand why as human beings we've signed up to go through all of this. Like, it's so much better on the other side where you don't have to worry about time and limitations and shit like that. And so being in the world can really drain their energy. It can be a lot for them. They like to watch movies if they don't do drugs and stuff and like alcohol and, you know, escape through gossip and different shit like that. They like to watch movies, listen to podcasts, or just dream up their ideal reality. They're really, I'm talking fast, my camera's about to die, so I'm sorry, but they're drawn to mysticism. Excuse me. This is another thing where you have to watch out for those Pisces moon people, because it goes one of two ways. They can be very integral practitioners, okay, people who are very well studied, who use their intuition in order to you know, read certain things and to, you know, prescribe certain things to people, and they can be super intuitive, right? Or they could desire to be able to have that level of control and in turn use that knowledge in order to manipulate people and to kind of put the smoke and mirrors up. This is where you get the scammer energy. All right, I'm just telling what it is. But there is an inclination towards mysticism just because they understand that what goes on behind the veil is not what you see, okay? We don't know the full story, and they're always ready to find out more. They usually take cues from their intuition, like I said, in relationships, in relation to other people in whatever capacity. They're going to listen to their gut when it comes to that, because they don't always make logical sense now, but they don't do things unless it sits right in their gut. I'm not saying they always make the right decision, but they are the type of people that instead of like trying to be super analytical, they're not gonna rely on that as their ultimate say so. They're gonna wait for a sign to come from the universe. They might say a prayer, they might go to their altar, they might just be like, you know what, whatever's meant to happen will happen. And that might frustrate earth sign people a lot, but that's just how they keep their cool about stuff and don't over obsess. Yeah, I said there's this quiet space between this realm and the next one that the Pisces exists in. Pisces is such a beautiful embodiment of that suspension. And that is what I mean. It's like you guys are here in this world with us, and you're able to do a lot within this world once you tap in. But there's also this feeling that there's always one foot outside of the door, just ready to kind of be swept away into the world of spirit, the world of the unseen. Being here and there at the same time, people with this placement often have this serene quality about them, and they have an ethereal presence. And yes, they spend a lot of their energy in other realms, utilizing escapism as a part of their daily process. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward. Pisces, I'm sorry if this feels rushed. I'm so sorry, but I'm anxious about the camera dying. So let's go ahead and get into some tips that I have for the guys versus the girls versus tips for everybody, okay? So for the guys, you know, for the most part, for them, life is a free fall. You know, they go with the flow. They're really not sure a lot of times how to dominate situations, and so instead of embarrassing themselves or taking the reins and then not knowing what to do with it, they rather just kind of go with the flow of life. You tend to find these people you know, hopping from occupation to occupation. They might even couch hop shit. They might, you know, I don't know what the hell they doing. They don't know what the hell they doing, but they doing something, okay? And that's another thing. They tend to stay pretty mixy, pretty in the moment, in the now, in the flow of what's cool, but they're always going to be doing something new. Let me see, always in pursuit of spirituality as well. A lot of times what they end up settling into, or the things that they're aspiring to do, have a lot to do with mysticism, with spirituality, with religion, okay? And they may change, you know, even change religions or change, spiritual practices throughout the years, because they're not about, you know, devoting themselves to one thing or another. It's about the commitment to God at the end of the day, the commitment to spirit at the end of the day. And they always want to feel like they're doing everything in their power in order to give the divine their all, you know. And so if it means trying out a different religion or a different practice in order to see which one, you know, agrees with my soul the best, then I'm going to go through that change. But when I do make the change and I initiate something new, I'm going to go fully into it. So you might be somebody that practices astrology one day and then you like, oh wait, brother, you a Muslim now? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Man, come back and he a whole pastor and be like, wait a minute, what? And he just like, listen, God is God. You know what I'm saying? He just want to talk to you about how Jesus could save your life. You know what I'm saying? So expect them to transform and give them the room to find themselves and to do that. They can also be passive in relation to others. I think this goes back to what I just said about not wanting to dominate all the time. They just don't prefer to rock the boat. Pisces moon people don't want to feel like the pressure is on them emotionally at all, and if they do, a lot of times they'll be in denial about it or they'll just lie about it. So they don't really want to be the person that's having to answer all the questions. That's just not, they don't like being questioned at all, because a lot of times they don't really know what's going on. They're waiting on their feelings to inform what they're gonna do next. So you don't need to be looking at them trying to figure out what to do next either. Okay, all right. Hey Pisces, so I'm back. I'm just gonna finish the video on my phone, I'm sorry, but I was saying, for the women, you guys tend to be loners a lot of time, or you come to that space in your life where you realize that although you get along with lots of different types of people, different groups of people, you do have this need to connect to spirit. You need some space in order to be able to get into the things that interest you, to be able to let yourself free, also to not be influenced by other people, because there's a heavy, like, you guys' energy is so open, it's too easy almost for you guys to get influenced by others. You could find yourself picking up accents, picking up phrases from other people if you're not careful about, you know, what you're consuming and what you're looking at. Y'all have that shapeshifter quality to your energy where you don't even realize you're doing it. It's just a subconscious thing that happens in response to you, you know, putting that information in your brain. And by putting that information in your brain, I mean hanging around people, watching people's videos, so on and so forth. Make sure that you're not, you know, like sparking up that imposter syndrome by like modeling yourself after somebody else too much. You need lots of alone time to make sure that your ideas are really yours, and to connect with them in order to bring them forward to feel fully confident about them. All right, so you have pockets of friends, no real friendship identity. Like you might have, okay, so friends that you go and do this with, friends that you go and do that with, friends that you go and do that with. And these groups of friends never really mix. They might not even know about each other. They may never meet, but they all service a different purpose in your life. And with them, you can feel like a different part of yourself, or you can showcase different interests that you may have. I think that that's good for the Pisces women. I feel like you guys need to have as many different outlets as possible. Just make sure that you're not like, make sure you spend some time, like I said, alone, so you can try to integrate all those different parts of yourself. Don't spend your whole life compartmentalizing and stuff like that, because eventually what will happen is these groups of people will want you to define yourself in one way or another. It'll get too overwhelming and then you'll just isolate anyway. So you might as well preemptively just kind of give yourself that time to make sure you know who you are, so that when that moment comes, you can be able to talk to your friends and be like, hey, yo, I know you think that I only do this with you, but actually I have a whole nother life, nigga. A whole nother life. You have to understand that, okay? You guys also understand words unspoken and have great intuition. Like Pisces people, no matter what the sign, excuse me, or I meant to say, no matter what the planet, y'all have great intuition. You guys just pick up on things. Now what I will say is, I'm not saying y'all have the most accurate intuition. What I'm saying is you guys notice things. Y'all notice when there's a change. You notice when a change is required and being asked of you. You notice when a person's not acting right. And so you guys have great intuition. Also, when it comes to occult studies, you guys might have a really easy time deciphering the spiritual meaning of certain things, being that you rule over symbolism and the feeling, right? The connection to source. So you may have healing hands where you can pick up, you know, somebody's hand and be able to tell what they need to do to improve their lifestyle. Or you may be able to feel crystals and be able to tell what energy they carry. Or you might be able to look at a plant or digest a certain plant and tell what some of their healing properties could be, or I don't fucking know, but you guys have that connection. It's up to you to take some time, to spend some time and energy determining what your thing is, okay? And then I just wanted to say, this is funny because I think every sign has like little things about it that they don't really want to hear. I'm going to say this to you because I don't want you to keep doing this. Like, all my Pisces moon friends, I need y'all to like, come on, let's get active. Let's get in this game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all spend a lot of time doing fucking nothing. Like, I love you guys. But because of that escapism thing, there's either a lot of time being spent like bullshitting around or just escaping through movies, TV, other people's stories. You guys are so enthralled by other people's stories, and I think that that's dope. You guys are wanting to be inspired and really wanting to you know, see examples of how to do it in the world, but like ain't nothing to it but to do it, you feel me? And so I know a lot of ambitious Pisces moon people that I feel like evade their own purpose because they're looking at how other people are doing things, and that's the backwards way there. So I love y'all. I want y'all to just spend more time, you know, doing what you love, or at least trying to get into yourself to figure out what that thing is. The tips that I have for both signs right before we go ahead and sign off from this video is that you guys all have a special connection to the spirit realm. Like I said, it's going to be up to you to do the work to really determine how you're going to connect with them. If you're Black, I would say definitely check in with your ancestors. Look up how to erect an ancestor altar, how to properly care for it. You know what I'm saying? And just start with one ancestor. You know, it doesn't have to be no super huge ceremony, big thing if you don't really know what you're doing. But this is going to allow you to begin opening that door in a way that's, you're not messing with spirits and you know what I'm saying, like spirits that you don't know and things that you don't know about. You're just connecting and venerating and honoring a person that you knew you know, during their waking and walking life. So that's going to really help you guys to start learning how to receive those sorts of messages. And messages do not come to everybody the same way. I'm not saying you're gonna be able to sit there and hear or look at a chart and know how to read it all automatically, but you'll figure out what your thing is. You guys can often overlook reality in place of what you wish would occur. Please don't do that. I love that you guys are so idealistic, but try to start practicing writing down the things that you really want to achieve. Make them goals and create action plans so that you can see whether or not this goal is something that you actually have control over. If it's actually something that you can achieve within a certain amount of time, and if it's even worth you worrying about. If it's not something that you can control, then I want you to say the serenity prayer and let it go, okay? You can spend lots of time determining passions and interests. So that's another thing where a lot of your life can feel like it's being centered around you not knowing what to do, not understanding what your part is in society. And this is where you need to spend some time in solace by yourself, connect to those ancestors and ask those questions and wait for those answers, okay? And then you guys need earthy people to balance you out and help make ideas into real life situations. And I noticed that with Pisces moons that have a lot of earth signs in them, they tend to like not like, they already are so grounded that they don't want to do the extra, I don't want to say do the extra work because that's not really it, but start sharing your ideas with other people. Get into more spaces where you can figure out different ways to go about the thing. Because I know if you already have earth sign, you're already kind of in your methods, but there could be better ways to do what you're trying to do. So either if you don't have any earth signs, get you some earth sign. If you do have earth sign in you, or you already got earth sign people around, try to figure out how to put shit into action. Then you need to kind of worry about the fire. That's when you need the fire to start popping those ideas out and really showcasing, you know, your ability to fit wherever you like, and your ability to be super social, right? The Pisces moon can shapeshift is what we talked about today. So I love you guys so much. I hope that this reading, or you know, this little breakdown of what the Pisces moon is to me really resonated with you guys. Please leave me any comments down below that you have to let me know what parts of this video you really felt. Like this video for more videos like it. Share this with the Pisces moon that you know. If you don't know no Pisces moons, then go look up your little best friend and everybody. Go look up their moon sign and send them their moon sign and let me know what they think. Other than that, if you guys would like a personal reading with me, you can always schedule one of those at nellnicole.com. I think it's under book a consultation. I have my tarot readings there, as well as my astrology readings over there. So go check me out. And other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.